Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be comparing the Motif Luna with the Medela Sonata. I'm really excited because both of these pumps I've actually been using a lot recently. I've been using the Medela Sonata a lot more. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know that this is like my go-to pump, and I've actually just picked up the Luna again, and I'm really liking both of them, so I thought I would do a comparison for you guys and kind of just give like pros, cons, and just what they each like offer and just like that type of stuff. I am going to be looking down a little bit. I do have my notes because I kind of just wrote down like some important points about each of the pumps, and I wrote a little bit about like kind of how the suction is, but that's sort of a personal kind of thing, so it's hard to sort of know if you don't have these pumps and you can't try them. It's hard to know if you're going to respond really well to these pumps, but I'll try my best to kind of describe their suction and what the features are that they both offer. So I do want to start out that both of these pumps are closed system, which means that milk cannot get into the actual pump contraption. So milk can't or shouldn't be able to go into this little hole and like ruin the motor. And it's the same for the Motif Luna. Theirs is just this two kind of port thing here, and they also have a closed system. Okay, so let's start with the Luna. So the Luna's suction is more of a vibration. I can't really turn her on right now because she only will turn on with a outlet. She does not have a rechargeable battery, which I really wish that she did. But her suction is more of like that vibrating, soft, gentle, but she definitely has intense suction, I would say. Usually I can't go any higher than level like 4 or 5. No, I don't even think I've been to 5. I've been to level 4 on her. For a comparison, I think she can go all the way up to level 12, and so, you know, I'm still like super low on that. And if you are familiar at all with the Spectra pumps, their pumps are super gentle, and they use vibration instead of like a suction to suction out the milk. I'm sorry if you hear my dryer, you know, endless laundry as a parent. But I feel like the Luna's vibration and the Luna's suction is more intense than the Spectra. So if you're finding, like if you have a Spectra, or if you've tried the Spectra and you don't feel like you're stimulated enough by it, I would try the Luna, because the Luna has a much stronger vibration than the Spectra. It's still gentle. It's still a lot more gentle than some of the other pumps, but the suction is really there with this pump. Another thing is the noise level on this pump is super quiet. I feel like you barely can even hear it. It's awesome. The parts are really easy to get, so like all the extra accessories. Motif has like a really great website. They have a really great customer service. The first Motif, if you guys haven't watched the unboxing of that, I'll link it up here. I actually got one and it was broken, and they instantly sent me a new one in the mail, no problem. I since have not had an issue with this motor, so I feel like their customer service is really great. It doesn't have a battery, which I feel like is kind of bleh. I really wish that it did. It does have a night light right here. It lights up, and this is also its handle. It's more of like a lower kind of profile pump, as you can see. The Medela Sonata is like higher profile. The Medela Sonata is kind of like about the same size as my head, a little bit. This pump I really would say is pretty big, but because it's so low profile, it's not really that big, if that makes sense. I feel like this pump is bigger. As for like weight wise, they're both pretty much the same, but I feel like this one's bigger just because of the size. But I do kind of like the size. I feel like it just kind of I don't know, it just speaks to me. It's like kind of like a little egg. This one actually is sort of like an egg too, but I don't know, I don't really get that feeling like I get with this. Okay, so moving on. I'm a freak. Okay, with the Motif Luna, you can single and double pump. It can also be hacked, which means that you can use Medela parts or Spectra parts with this pump, and I really like that you can do that. I feel like if you have a pump and you can't use like other parts with it, like you can't hack it, I feel like it's kind of useless, because some people need different flange sizes or whatever, or they like using different duckbills, who knows, and I like that you can customize this. It's really nice. And I feel like my biggest thing with this pump is I really like the suction. I really like how it's vibrating and it's very gentle, but it also like has that power behind it. For me, the Spectra never worked quite right. Like I would still get pretty good milk output, but like if I used it a lot, I noticed my milk output just like really wasn't that great. I loved the Spectra for when I was first exclusively pumping and I was super sensitive and I really like, you know, didn't want any suction. The Spectra was really great for that. But then once I got, you know, like some endurance, I guess, this pump and the Sonata and a couple of other pumps that I've used were all fine for me and very stimulating. I feel like the only pump really for me that wasn't stimulating enough is the Spectra, where a lot of people love the Spectra and the Spectra works a lot better for them, and I think that's great. I just wasn't one of those people, but I still always suggest that people check out the Spectras, just because I know most people do really well with that stimulation. So, you know, everybody's different, which is kind of like frustrating in the pump field, because you can't like try these pumps, or you know, it's not really like a try before you buy, and then if you do buy it, you can't return it because it's a medical device. So I highly suggest trying to find things secondhand. I know some people like aren't really for that. I'm for it. Like, come on, like let's, you know, let's recycle. Anyways, okay, so let's talk about the Medela Sonata. I had to look at this for a second. I was like, wait, who is she? No. So the thing that I really like about the Sonata is this button right here, which you probably can't really see, but it has like a little squiggle, and this changes the suction frequency. So you essentially have two modes, two different types of suction. A lot of people say that they can't actually tell the difference between the two suctions. I totally can. When I had my first Medela Sonata, this is a replacement, before I got the replacement, I couldn't tell the difference between the suctions. Once I got the replacement Sonata, because my battery wasn't good, I can totally tell the difference between the suctions. And I love how that's there, because maybe one day I do the suction 1 and then the next day I can do suction 2, so like my body doesn't kind of like get too used to it. It kind of just like keeps your pumping journey on its toes, and I really like that option. Another thing is this pump isn't necessarily a vibrating pump, but it's not like the pumping style. It still kind of has that like pull, like more of a but you don't have that sound. It's a lot more gentle than the pumping style is. If you've used a pumping style, you liked it, you were stimulated by it, maybe you just didn't like how loud it was or how you were plugged in all the time, get the Sonata. I love the Sonata. Oh, and I did forget to mention that the Luna is offered through insurance. So if you're looking for the Luna, you should definitely check out the Luna through your insurance. And I did forget to mention, I'm all over the place, but I did forget to mention, I think the Luna is around $170 to $200 depending on where you buy it. I'm gonna have a couple links down below of where you can get this pump, and just kind of give you guys a different price range. I know that I think it's the most expensive actually on the Motif website, but let's get back to Sonata. So the noise level on the Sonata is good. I feel like she's pretty silent. As for like if she's as silent as the Luna, I think the Luna is a lot more quiet. But the Sonata is much quieter than the pumping style. I love that it has little like chimes and dings. This pump, which I can turn on because it is does have a rechargeable battery. You can hear the little chimes, which you can turn off, but it's like that's not too loud. Like I don't know. I just like the little chimes. To me, it just kind of speaks to me that way. The Medela parts are awesome. I feel like they're great. You can totally get this pump as an insurance, through your insurance, but you do usually have to get an upgrade, I think, for this pump, because they say that this is like a next step down to the Symphony. So if you're trying to get the Symphony, but you can't because it's expensive and it's completely like hard to get unless you have a premature baby. I tried to get one because I was a surrogate, and I tried to like use that as kind of, you know, like why I should get it, because I was going to be pumping for a surrogate baby, but they said that it wasn't a medical reason, so it's hard getting that pump. Anyways, the battery is rechargeable, which I absolutely love. It doesn't last like a super long time, but it's awesome that it's rechargeable. So if something happens, you can literally just pick this pump up by the handle right here and walk around with it, which I really like. It also has this like grippy on the bottom. Genius. The interface is easy to see at night, but it is hard to see during the day, which I have actually spoken to Medela about that, and they are in the works of trying to fix that. So maybe pretty soon, maybe this year, they'll re-release the Sonata or something. And one thing just to kind of like snowball into that is Medela has like a really great customer service. I've never had any problems with Medela's customer service. They're awesome. They're on par. It's just the best ever. One thing that I do want to mention about Medela is that a lot of people have been commenting to me about is the Medela Freestyle Flex. And I've been trying to get my hands on it. I did actually reach out to the company and ask if they would send me the pump to review for you guys. They said not at the moment, but I'm gonna like keep, you know, just pursuing that because I feel like it would be really great for you guys. But the pump, that pump is like $400, I think. So right now that's just a bit too expensive. But I am still in the works of like trying to get my hands on that pump. Maybe I could get it secondhand. I really haven't seen it much secondhand, but I am still looking out for it because I really do want to try it. I actually want to compare it to the baby Buddha that I have because it sort of looks like the baby Buddha. But we'll see, you know, fingers crossed that maybe in the next couple of months I'll be able to get the Freestyle Flex for you guys. So really like going kind of back to my thoughts, you know, which pump would I choose out of these guys? And I honestly like it's really hard for me to choose just because I like both of them. But if I really had to choose, I would go with the Sonata only because it has the rechargeable battery and it's just so much easier to like kind of stop what you're doing because you can just take the pump with you. But Motif is like right there. Like they're literally almost even because I love the suction on Motif. I still love the suction on the Medela Sonata too, but it's just that rechargeable battery just really wins. But I feel like, you know, you guys should definitely check out both of these pumps if you can. If you can't, I would try the Motif Luna just because it can, you can get it for free through your insurance. The Medela Sonata is an upgrade and I think I had to pay like $80 or maybe $60 extra to upgrade. I can't really remember, but I'll have everything linked down below for you guys so you can like check all that out. But I did get the Medela Sonata through my insurance through Aeroflow. Aeroflow is an awesome company to get your pumps through insurance, so definitely check them out. Honestly guys, like I feel like they both kind of win on like a lot of different areas, but like I said, the Sonata would be my pick, but I do still recommend the Luna just because it is free and it does give you like that more gentler suction, which I feel like most everybody would like, but for my personal preference and like kind of my needs, I really like having the rechargeable battery. So if one of my kids is getting into something, whatever, I can just get up with my pump still hooked up and pumping and do whatever it is that I need to do. Where with this pump I have to turn it off you know, and just like I'll like pull these out and I'll walk around still hooked up to the pump, but I'm not pumping, and then I come back, plug it back in, and it does actually restart the clock, which is kind of annoying because then I have to like remember, okay, I have to do like 15 minutes to equal 40 minutes of a pumping session, you know, like it just is kind of this extra thing. Where the Sonata, if you want to stop it, you actually can pause it. I'll show you. So it's pumping. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Yeah, the interface is really bad in the light, but it's counting right now. And then now it's paused. Darn. All right, do you see how it's blinking like that? That means it's paused. It'll pause for that. It'll pause like that for like 2 to 3 minutes. And then it'll just keep, let me see if I can get it. There we go. It'll just keep counting, which is super nice because you want to like, you don't want to have to think about things. Like, especially as a mom, like you want to have your life as easy as possible. But that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this comparison. If there are other comparisons, please comment down below and give this video a like, and I will definitely do more comparisons. But I had so much fun today filming this for you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.